Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our Discmemberment for July 2020. I'm your host, Tim.
And this is Brian. And we were hoping for a light one, and we only got 1 week of light ones. It seems like there's still a lot.
Our prediction that maybe the releases would start to simmer down over the summer has not held. I mean, this is a bigger month than last month, I believe.
Yeah. And I see a disturbing trend. There's a lot of cannibalistic movies coming out over there. What are they trying to tell us here?
I think people are getting restless in quarantine, apparently.
Is that what it is? Because I mean, you know, people joke about that this was the beginning of the zombie apocalypse. I don't know how I like that, like, half the movies here are either zombie related or cannibal related. It does not fare well for us right now.
Now, I will say this month to me is more quantity over quality. There are some good discs in here, but to me, it's not as strong a month as maybe last month was.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, there's a couple of like hit picks, I think, that I'm like, wow, that's a good disc. But there's also a lot of just like feel like you know what, like some of the studios are sitting there saying, you know what, we don't really have much to do this month. Let's go release this thing.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But now, granted, we could be wrong. We could be talking about a future Civil Gore gem. We don't know, but you know.
That's
right
true.
Now.
That's right. We've discovered one of those recently, and if you guys have heard that excellent bonus episode we released,
oh yeah,
you would know all about 1BR and how fantastic that was. So hopefully there's another gem in here.
Yes.
All right. Well, Brian, let's get right to it. So these are our Blu-ray releases for July. We kick things off on July 7th, and we're going to skip over the first one because that's going to be our pick of the week.
Yes.
That Brian and I actually agreed on. For this week. But the next one up is from Kino Lorber. This is The Flesh and the Fiends, a.k.a. The Fiendish Ghouls, a.k.a. Mania. So a 3 a.k.a.er right there to start things off. This was from 1960. It's based on the actual story of Burke and Hare. That's actually a really good story. I don't know if you know about that.
I know, just the way you said it made me chuckle a little
Burke
bit. I don't know
Hare.
why.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Mania is a brutal film in which Edinburgh's Dr. Robert Knox, Peter Cushing, a slightly mad scientist. They're always better when they're slightly mad.
Just perturbed scientist. Slightly off, not crazy. I mean, for a second I looked at mad. See, I'm telling you, quarantine brain is real. I'm reading things way too literally lately. Okay.
Is in constant need of dead bodies for vivisection to further his studies. Donald Pleasance plays a grave robber who provides the corpses for Knox's experiments, first through the traditional shady means of theft, but ultimately resorting to murder to meet his demand. So a Peter Cushing, Donald Pleasance team up. I like the sounds of this.
Yeah, that's a dream team. One of the dream team duos there.
The Burke and Hare story is really cool. I've seen it. I've heard of it in podcast. I've seen it. I think the Lore TV show on Amazon Prime did an episode on Burke and Hare. So if you like grave digging type, great corpse robbing stories, that's an actual true story that's really really interesting.
This one looks cool. The trailer on this made it look cool.
This one probably could have been pick of the week because of the Peter Cushing Donald Pleasance team up potentially, but we went with one a little more meaty in terms of extras.
Yeah, and also iconic. I mean, when you hear our pick of the week, I think you could agree that one is kind of one of those titles that may have been a strong pick without all the bonus features, but with the bonus features, it just cements it, I think.
Yeah, so this one does have a new 2K restoration of the film, includes an alternate cut of The Fiendish Ghouls, aka Mania, an audio commentary by our Southern gentleman, film historian, Mr. Tim Lucas.
Yeah, he hasn't been around much in a while, but he's back again.
He's back.
You know, yes, he graced us with his presence, bless his heart. Wait, you should be saying the bless your heart. I don't say that well. I can't do it.
You have to be Southern to say it correctly.
Really? I don't learn it. I could do the forget about it, but you know.
Yeah, see, I can't say that. I think that's. I mean, I can imitate. I say forget about it, but that's a Southern person impersonating it. It's not. See, but it's not genuine.
Right, but that's why we're such a good team.
That's
see,
right.
We get, you know, I could fill in your blanks, you fill in mine. There we go.
See, I can say bless your heart with just a perfect amount of disdain.
Yeah.
Brian doesn't know how to say Southern stuff, guys. Bless his heart.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Anyway, moving right along, and there's some trailers on here, by the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's The Flesh and the Fiends, aka the Fiendish Ghouls, aka Mania. I actually want to watch this one. This one looks, I mean, anything Peter Cushing. I'm on a big Peter Cushing trip because I'm watching all these Hammer movies. So
yeah, that could be almost in your own project. Your next project should be the Peter Cushing project, because you can actually, basically, you know, obviously since the ones you've done already, you can kind of grandfather those into the project and then just go from there. So
yeah, I'd probably only have 5 left after I go through all the Hammer films.
Yeah, true. He is quite hammerific here.
Oh, that also gives me an excuse to watch Star Wars.
Yes, that's true. And Rogue One, technically.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
So the next one we got is this is one of those ones from the, you know, actually it's funny because I was actually in a little conversation with our good buddy David Weiner the other day about, you know, how he's doing his the sequel to In Search of Darkness, which, if you you know, I know this is not a traditional episode with First Chop News, but I don't know if you saw that Shudder has announced that In Search of Darkness the original will be on Shudder July 30th, which is huge for so many people that missed out on the Kickstarter and be able to get it. Yeah. So, and let me tell you, for those who have not seen that yet, this is the best news you might hear like this summer in terms of a release, because that movie is the 80s horror fans' dream documentary. So 4+ hours of just amazing content. And I mean, Shudder just has a magic way of obtaining every amazing thing. So that is awesome. Shudder, actually, July in itself is just an amazing month. If you go look at some of the people tweeting what's coming out in Shudder for July, it's an amazing month of stuff. So anyway, so this one is but what made me I'll transgress a bit. What made me get off in this little tangent is I was having a discussion with David about some other 80s horror gems that weren't mentioned. I don't know if this is quite a gem, but this is definitely one that some people might like and haven't talked about, and that's Black Rainbow from 1989. This one, Martha Travis is a psychic who travels the rural American South with her alcoholic father. That's a dream team in itself, I guess, right? Walter, promoting her mystical trade to credulous locals. In reality, Martha is a con woman whose only gift is the ability to defraud those who are desperate to contact dead loved ones. We've heard that story before. Amityville 3 had that in the beginning. And
Manitou.
Yeah, Manitou, yeah. I mean, so that this is a common horror trope in there. One night, however, she has a genuine vision of a violent crime which has yet to transpire. I remember seeing this back in the day, and now I don't know if you realized, Tim, but the link you gave me is to a trailer that has some subtitles from I don't know what language. However, whatever language the subtitles for this trailer were, Rosanna Arquette translates to Posanna Apket. I don't know what. So I've learned something. Oh. So now I need to find out what language that was in. If anyone knows, please let us know. And it's funny that why wouldn't it just say Rosanna Arquette? Why did it translate? And usually in the subtitles, the name will be the name. But why did it translate it to Posanna Apket? I was hysterical because I thought maybe that was like the title of the movie. But then I said, no, wait a minute.
That's her new name. That's her official new name now.
Oh, yeah. Yes, on Civil Gore. Sorry, Rosanna Arquette. I know you have a long, storied career. You will be now known as Posanna Apket. But yeah, so this one's got this is a packed disc actually. So it's got a brand new restoration from the original negative, approved by writer-director Mike Hodges. It's got the original stereo 2.0 PCM uncompressed audio and the 5.1 DTS master audio surround sound option. So I kind of like when they give you both because, you know, some people like the original audio. You know, when you try and mix something into 5.1 that really never was meant to, it doesn't really give you the effect unless they really go back and do that
poorly for sure. Yeah.
Right. So sometimes that's good to have that option in there. It's got, optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. And it's got a new audio commentary. Are you ready, Tim?
Yeah, I'm ready.
For film historians, one of our favorites, Kat Ellinger, who's grandfathered in, so she does not get a impersonation. But we have a new one. Oh. And that is Sam Dahan. And he spells it Samm. And what about him is that, I don't know if you know this, Tim, but he adds that second M stands for mime. So whenever he discusses these films, it's solely by physical representation inside a glass box. So
okay.
so that's good. That'll be a make for one interesting commentary track.
Yeah, it's just quiet. You have to. It's just a little window in the bottom, like this picture-in-picture of him going inside of a glass box. I like it.
But also, you got Kat Ellinger there to kind of.
Oh yeah. That's why she has to be on there so she can translate his memory.
Right. So that's going to be a fun disc, I think. There's more actually. It's archival audio commentary by Mike Hodges, Message in a Bottle, archival making of the documentary. Archival interviews with Jason Robards, Tom Holtz, and Rosanna Arquette. It's like a Parenthood reunion.
Excuse me, did you just
Robards.
mispronounce her name?
Oh my God, you're right, Posanna Apket. Thank you see. Tim keeps me honest. I already lost the bit halfway through the show. Yes, Posanna Apket. We need to start a Twitter account for Posanna Apket.
Yeah.
Like an unofficial Twitter. Now we got to do all her movies, too, just to make sure we get that in there. But so it's got also archival featurettes, 8 minutes. Disasters, Seeing the Future, Behind the Rainbow, featuring interviews with Hodges, Apket, Robards, producer John Quested, including behind-the-scenes imagery, a trailer, reversible sleeve featuring artwork and newly commissioned artwork by Nathaniel Marsh. I think we've discussed him before.
Yeah.
And for the first pressing only, Tim,
Ooh.
This is a booklet featuring new writing on the film by author Alexandra Heller-Nicholas, Mike Hodges, and more with illustrated stills in there.
Ooh.
So that is actually a really, really packed disc by Arrow. So,
yeah, and they always have great discs. I mean, they're right up there with Shout Factory in terms of those great collector's editions and all their extras. So I'm sure that's a really good one.
And they announced a Mallrats set, even though I know that's not horror, but I'm a big Kevin Smith fan, and Mallrats I was always a huge fan of, and I thought I had a packed disc, but this new Arrow disc has even more stuff added to it.
Nice.
So that's going to be, that comes out in September, so that'll be a fun one.
All right, so next up from Arrow, we have Inferno of Torture from 1969. High demand for tattooed geisha generates an entire industry for their production. Europeans pay more for tattooed beauties. Gorgeous tattooed women lead to a history of confrontation between two highly skilled masters of tattoo.
And wait, didn't you tell me before we went on here that the tattoo disc was canceled?
Yes, there was an actual tattoo movie disc that was just recently canceled by Shout Factory because apparently they did not have the... And I was surprised because the disc was supposed to come out this month. That it was this close. But they had announced on Facebook, and I just happened to run across it, that they had to cancel because they didn't have the masters for the HD conversion or something. And they had to just cancel the disc. So I had to take that one off the rundown. Yeah, I mean,
that was cutting it close.
Yeah, that's cutting it real close. So I don't know how that works in terms of how quickly these are pressed or whatever, but they didn't have it.
Wow.
Man, the trailer for this one, if you like watching naked Japanese women hung upside down and beaten with sticks, you're going to love this trailer.
Yeah, I did not know what I was watching. It was like human torture with gratuitous boob basically the entire time.
Yeah, I described it as an inordinate amount of human piñatas.
It was. That's how it started. For the first 15 to 20 seconds of this trailer, this guy is just beating on a human piñata. This is an odd one.
This one has a high definition presentation. Original uncompressed mono audio, optional English subtitles, of course. An audio commentary by Japanese cinema expert Tom Mess. M-E-S? Tom Mess?
He left the last S off for savings?
I guess. Erotic, grotesque nonsense and the foundations of Japan's cult counterculture, which is odd. That's the exact name of my thesis in college.
It should be, yeah.
A condensed version of Jasper Sharp's Miskatonic Institute lecture. Trailer, reversible sleeve featuring original and newly commissioned artwork by Jacob Phillips, and first pressing only, a collector's booklet featuring new writing on the film by Chris D., who couldn't even give his last name, I guess.
I know, he was so like so mysterious about this. He didn't want to give his name. That, I swear to God, that totally sounds like something that should be on Joe Bob at some point.
So this, I have to say, this reminded me, and Ken's gonna just die when I tell this story. But me and Ken and my friend Daniel used to go to Blockbuster back in the day, and because we'd always spend the night over at Ken's house because his mom always fed us multiple times throughout the night. And so we'd go to Blockbuster and rent the worst possible movie we could find, like the back of the shelf, dustiest, never been rented before horror movie we could find. And one night we rented this one that was, and I don't remember the name of it. It was something about Nazis and the SS, and it literally was mostly naked women. I think there was one part where they were being tortured by quote-unquote rats that were actually looked like gerbils. And there was this movie, like this trailer, just reminded me of that. Like I was having flashbacks to that weird porn horror Nazi movie we rented that time. So Ken knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's that one's going to be a hard pass this week.
Yeah.
No interest in that.
Yeah, that one is an odd one, but so maybe the next one will be right up your alley here, Tim. It's his Neurosis, aka Revenge in the House of Usher. So sit back. It's a nice long, although not as long as the next one I see.
Yeah.
Description here. Dr. Alan Harker receives an invitation and arrives at the house of his former professor at Prague University, Roderick Usher, who lives with his housekeeper Helen in an old castle. I know I read that weird. I apologize. It was so much in once. Dr. Usher is insane, living with ghosts, and invites his former student Harker to proceed with his research. He tells Harker that when his daughter Melissa died many years ago, he had developed a means to reanimate her using the blood of prostitutes. I'm glad that was just right off the tip of his tongue there. Along many years, Dr. Usher and his assistant Morpho kidnapped and killed many young women to keep Melissa alive. But when Harker meets Dr. Seward, who is the doctor of Usher, he explains the Doctor of Usher is delusional. What is the truth about Dr. Usher and his secret? And now I guess we have to watch a movie to find out because they didn't
I have no idea.
But is this a classic story, though? It's based off of, right?
Yeah, well, the Fall of the House of Usher is a classic story with...
Right. So this is Revenge of it.
But this is some kind of weird... this is not that story. This is something else. I guess maybe a sequel? I don't know.
Interesting.
A prequel?
Well, Tim Lucas came back for it.
Tim Lucas is back.
He seemed to be there for it, so I completely thought this was that classic and just another version of it. So I apologize. That is not what I thought this was, but still, I mean, it could be interesting. You never know.
Yeah, 1982. By the way, the year on that one, it's early 80s. So I'd give it a shot for sure.
I tell you, early 80s. You see, there's a lot of gems over there.
Yeah.
82 had a lot of good ones.
Yeah,
so, specifically, yeah.
Next up, we have another Arrow release. This one looks pretty fun. Zombie for Sale, 2019. An infectiously funny slice of modern Korean cinema where Train to Busan, The Quiet Family, and Warm Bodies collide to create a memorable rom-com from first-time director Lee Min-jae. When the illegal human experiments of Korea's biggest pharmaceutical company go wrong, one of their undead test subjects escapes and ends up in a shabby gas station owned by the Park family, a band of misfits spanning 3 generations who hustle passersby to make ends meet. When the Park family uncover their undead visitor, he bites the head of their household, who instead of transforming into an undead ghoul, becomes revitalized and full of life. The family then hatch a plan to exploit this unexpected fountain of youth, allowing locals to pay to be bitten too, until things go wrong. With a cabbage-munching zombie who prefers ketchup over blood, and a dysfunctional family that gives the Kim family of Parasite a run for their money, Zombie for Sale will warm the deadest of hearts and breathe some new life into the zombie genre.
Wow.
Yeah, this one looks a lot of fun. I mean, it does crazy over the top in the best Korean film way, but it does have a high def presentation. I won't go through the audio options. Newly translated English subtitles. Brand new audio commentary with filmmakers and critics Sam Ashurst and Dan Martin. Q&A with director Lee Min-jae from a 2019 screening at Asian Pop-Up Cinema in Chicago, moderated by film critic and author Darcy Paquette. Eat Together, Kill Together, the family and peril comedy, brand new video essay by critic and producer Pierce Conran, exploring Korea's unique social satires, making of featurette, behind-the-scenes footage, original trailer, reversible sleeve cover art, and first pressing only, a collector's booklet featuring new writing by Josh Hurtado.
I chuckled through that because I remember that this was the trailer that had all the hashtags for every single thing it said.
Yeah.
It was like every actor that started it had a hashtag, every line. It was very odd. I don't know why they did that. I guess maybe for the Zombie for Sale angle of it. But either way, that does look like a really, really fun movie.
And that one, as tired as I am of zombie movies, I'm willing to give another Korean zombie movie a shot after Train to Busan.
I'll go one better. I will give any and every Korean zombie movie shot, because I have not seen one I did not like yet.
Yeah.
So they know how to do something that we can't figure out, I guess, here anymore. That's original. So, but I don't know. We'll see. Well, I mean, I will, like I said, like that, like, and the Train for Busan sequel, I can absolutely not wait for. That looks amazing.
Yeah, it does.
So this one will kind of, maybe this one will bridge the gap until that one comes out. Next one is actually one I had on my list when I was going through my own personal list. I do every couple of months where I kind of plan ahead on, to reserve spaces in the monolith.
Mm-hmm.
This one is called Herschel Gordon Lewis's Blood Mania. Now, I it looks fun, but when I saw it, I was like, I thought it was something else, but I still may keep this in the monolith reservation, so to speak. But anyway, so this is a horror anthology comprised of 4 distinct segments that feature a raucous combination of satirical humor, horror, gore, and enough surprises to satisfy film enthusiasts and horror fans alike. That's us, Tim.
Yeah. Oh, it looks cool.
So,
and
yeah,
Herschel Gordon Lewis's
fun.
Stuff is just insanely. He did all the Blood Feast and all those crazy gore movies. So this one did look actually pretty insane.
Yeah, no, this does look kind of fun, and it just looks like. And I think the disc I remember was not too expensive when I looked, so I have this still earmarked for the monolith. So,
all right, next up from Leo Mark Studios, Escape Room: Quest of Fear from 2019, Moscow in the cold Russian winter. The young Stefan is preparing to celebrate his birthday on Halloween. His friends are with him. Attracted by the calling of disturbing messages from an entity that manifests itself through a Ouija board, the friends decide to celebrate the evening by going to a quest, or as it's also known in the West, an escape room. Now, Brian, I didn't get to see the trailer on this because I couldn't find it, but you tracked it down.
Yeah, so so basically the Quest of Fear, what I saw in there is sort of based off of, they said it's a series of Russian urban legends. So that's why I think that subtitle came from, because it looks like they're almost in a haunt more than an escape room from the trailer, with a lot of little different rooms going in. So maybe they play off these urban legends. I mean, I couldn't tell 100% by the trailer, but it does actually look kind of interesting. But it's not. I mean, if you look at the link that I posted there, so you could see where I had to go dig this trailer up. It was like I had to Google it, and then a lot of escape. I mean, there's the escape room movie that we got last year. There's another one that has nothing to do with it, and then there's also, I think from a couple of years earlier, and then there's also Escape Room 2, which is coming out, which gosh. I thought, maybe that's what that is.
Yeah.
But no, this one took a little doing, but I found it. So, but I mean, the trailer does make it. There is some creepy elements in the trailer. There's one sequence with a clown that looks really kind of creepy. So, but yeah, like I said, it definitely looks more of like a haunt than what we would call an escape room. But because it looks like there are multiple sections and multiple rooms, so I mean, maybe it's just an elaborate escape room. I'm not sure, but either way, it definitely looks interesting. I mean, I definitely don't think I'm going to seek this down to purchase, but this is something I would watch if it was on one of the streaming services, I think.
Cool.
So the next one is The Other Lamb, and this is by IFC Films. This is brand new, 2020. A girl born into an all-female cult led by a man in their compound begins to question his teachings and her own reality. Now, we just got done reviewing like a really interesting cult film, so it's kind of fresh in my mind. And so this one is actually, I'm kind of getting into these type of movies,
gosh.
These. So and this one looks really good.
It looks amazing. I cannot wait. I had no clue about this movie. And after watching that trailer, I absolutely cannot wait to see this. It looks really good.
I mean, they captured you got a really creepy and disturbing vibe through it, and it wasn't that long of a trailer, but it was enough to really you're like, wow, I gotta see this. And I think I'm gonna benefit. Another bonus to getting to see 1BR was because that was another really got me back kind of like interested in these cult movies, and between that and Julie watching all these documentaries, it's like bring these on now, because these are these are, because you know what it is, I think these are true things that really actually give me a little sense of fear, like, I mean, I'm not afraid of zombies, I'm not afraid of ghosts, I'm not afraid of slashers. But stuff like this this is legitimate stuff that happens all around you, you know, and you don't know where it's going to be.
You need to go back and revisit Midsummer.
Yeah,
now that you're in the
I really
cult
should.
mindset. Yeah,
I should.
but yeah,
I
this
see
one
people
looks
celebrating Midsummer though on like the internet. I guess it was just happened, right? In real,
Yeah,
for real,
yeah.
whatever. So I saw people like doing their own little mini celebrations. It looked a lot more tame than the movie. But I remember I did say I was going to revisit Midsummer. So I was, because I said, like, you know, I know myself. If I build myself up for a movie and I believe all the hype and it doesn't live up to it, I can't blame the movie always. I can blame myself for it. So I do want to give it a chance, and I know I think Julie wanted to see it, so we'll probably watch it one night, and then I'll give a full on.
Oh, nice! I can't wait.
Opinion.
Next up is 5 Must Die from Leo Mark Studios, 2017. 5 college students go urban spelunking in an abandoned insane asylum, and one of them betrays the group for a malevolent ghost. Really
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, this one's really low budget. And by the way, when we don't list extras, guys, these just don't have extras. These last ones we're doing. This one just looked really low budget, and I couldn't entirely tell what it was about from the trailer. It looked a little maybe kind of found footage-ish. But
that's what I thought, but then it didn't look found footage-ish.
So I don't know if it's like a blend. I don't know. I don't know much about this one. You guys will just have to check the trailer for it. But no extras on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to see it, though. Oh, no, sorry. That was the next one I wanted to see. Sorry. Yeah. This is the one I can't tell what it's about. So this is a big month. I mean, a big week here.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny. This is like the chunk of the releases, actually, I think, are almost all in this. It's like half the releases.
Yeah, we're still on July 7th, guys, by the way.
Yeah, I have to like really scroll over to get all this. But next one is the one I said I kind of want to see. So this one is Horathon Volume 1. It's from 2020. It's from New Blood. I think that's a new one that no pun intended there. I think that's one we haven't had before.
We've had it before, but it's been
did?
Yeah, very very sparingly. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, this one, Horathon Volume 1 is a horror anthology that has 11 terrifying tales included on it. And obviously Tim and I are big anthology fans, so we're all in on this one, just the premise alone. So, that it's, like Tim described it, and we both agreed exactly the way it looks completely low budget, but in that short trailer there is a ridiculous amount of gore in it.
Yes.
So
it reminded me of Scare Package, like low budget but like super good, like crazy, just over the top gore.
Yeah. Although I definitely think Scare Package had much better gore, like quality, in terms of the quality of it.
Sure.
But this one definitely looks like but like that kind of that over the top crazy gore, like that one segment in Scare Package with the where they're in the woods and everyone just keeps like, it's kind of like that kind of level.
Yeah,
so looks fun.
Now this next one up is going to get an honorable mention this week.
It is,
because we love this movie so much. This is from RLJ Entertainment, and it's Beelzebub from 2017. We covered this movie. I don't remember. Did we do a full review? I think we did do a full feature review on this.
Yeah,
one.
We made an episode. It was one of the earliest screeners I think we got from Shudder when we first started getting the screeners from them.
Yeah, so this one, this is the one where after losing his family in an extremely tragic way, Detective Ritter must investigate a massacre at a school perpetrated by a student. What seemed like a pretty clear case becomes much more dense when a priest of the Vatican appears with another point of view. And this one does... If you go back and listen to our featured episode, you'll hear all of our glowing review of it. But I was really blown away by this one. Did not expect it. It's an intriguing blend of Spanish and English. So some subtitles, some English. Has some fantastic Spanish actors in it, or Mexican actors. And it's got some heavy elements of like possession movies, but in a way I had never seen it done before. So I really, really like this one.
Right, yeah, and it's still on Shudder, too, if you want to check it out before you go by. But this is one I'm definitely going to add to the monolith because, obviously when these things are still on Shudder, like, Tigers Are Not Afraid. Like, I knew once I saw that one, I said, as soon as that is released, that's one I'm going to want to own because it's not going to be on Shudder forever. And besides, it's just something I want in my collection. I feel like that's another way I can support these good movies, by... and the physical media aspect of it. If you saw Joe Bob's finale there, he went off on a little thing about making sure physical media still is around. Mm-hmm. So because but this one is that, this one was just really good. So definitely watch it on Shudder if you have not seen it yet. And I guarantee you're going to want that in your collection if you're a fan of that type, because it's really good. The final one before we get into our pick of the week, it's from Tempe Digital, and that is Ozone from 1995. It says, while ambushing a drug dealer, Detective Eddie Boone is injected in a fight against the dealer with a new drug called ozone, which transforms the users in powerful... it's probably should meant into, but it says in. Tim just copies and pastes. It's not his fault.
Yeah, because it's more fun that
way. Into powerful zombies. His partner and friend, Mike White. Why does it sound like a Jerky Boys skit? Hey, Mike White! Is kidnapped by a group of ozone addicted... Yeah, this is just... Yeah. Is kidnapped by a group of the ozone addicted. Eddie tries to find Mike in the streets, fighting against the zombies and having several hallucinations due to the effect drug in his blood. Boy, this is worded poorly.
That's what it lends itself to the comedy, though, when I just copy paste.
It does. It's great. But like Tim said, it's like, he wrote here, it's low budget 90s, but creative effects. And yeah, it definitely looks a little bizarre, but it looks kind of like, there's enough intrigue there to like that. I think I'd give it a watch on a streaming service,
Yeah, it had some. I thought the effects looked kind of creative too. So.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely not like. I mean, I know it. I stumbled through there, but that's not the fault of the movie. It's the fault of whoever put that on the on Tim's source that he copied from.
Okay, so let's get to our pick of the week for July 7th.
This could be the beginning of the end for the human race. For what men first thought were meteors or the often ridiculed flying saucers are in reality the flaming vanguard of the invasion from Mars.
This is Criterion Disc, which are always fantastic. War of the Worlds from 1953.
Ow.
Yes. Scientist Clayton.
I love this.
Scientists Clayton Forrester and Sylvia Van Buren are the first to arrive at the site of a meteorite crash. Soon after, an alien war machine emerges and begins killing at random. The Marines are called in, but they're no match for the aliens' force field. Forrester and Van Buren, however, are able to wound one of the creatures and procure a sample of its blood. They take it to Los Angeles, where they hope through testing to be able to discover the alien's weakness. And man, if you watch this trailer for 1953, this looks like the biggest budget movie ever. It looks astounding.
It might have been then. We don't know.
Yeah. It has a new 4K restoration of the film. New alternate 5.1 surround soundtrack created by sound designer Ben Burt and presented in DTS HD. Audio commentary from 2005 featuring filmmaker Joe Dante, film historian Bob Burns, and author Bill Warren. Who in the world is Bob Burns?
Okay, so I did some digging. Apparently he's a relative of Ken Burns and does all his reviews in no less than 24 chapters.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, no, I don't know. I just couldn't resist on that one. Bob Burns, Ken Burns. But he probably has like a much more, I think, being a Bob Burns, he kind of like, I think all his alliterations, like he's like, hey, my name is Bob Burns. How would you like a pepperoni pizza? I think his
War of the Worlds.
His alliterations and his plosives are like on point, right? I mean, don't you get that from a Bob Burns?
Yeah, Bob Burns. He's very, very direct.
Bob Burns. Yeah, there's like a 1-2 beat to his name. Poor Cody. Now she's gonna have to write like 500 things. And by the way, we need to thank Cody again because she delivered. I copied that through and I put it in for our film historian. She did like even a better job than ever on recreating it, and it cracks me up as I read through her descriptions because she almost has it like word for word for what we said. Yeah. So once again, Cody, you are the best. Thank you so much for doing that.
We're up to like almost 20 film historians right now that we have caricatures for, so it's really cool.
Yes. And she even she'll put see above when it's like it connects to another film. So she's like on point. She is fantastic. Yeah. But by the way, out there, if you're thinking of nabbing her, no, she is our intern, and you cannot have her.
Oh, we got another film historian here. Movie Archaeologist, a new program on the visual and sound effects in the film featuring Burt and film historian Craig Barron.
Oh, no, I didn't even see that one, so...
Well, you know who Craig Barron is. He's sort of like a Christopher Lee type. He's Craig Barron. He lives in a castle. He lives in a medieval castle. He's,
I could just see that, he'll open up his moat and be like,
Greetings. Have you watched War of the Worlds from 1953? Craig Barron definitely lives in a castle.
Oh
sure.
yeah. More. Here's the more important question: monocle or no monocle?
Oh, he's got to have a monocle. He's a baron.
Right.
He's got to have a monocle.
Yes, definitely a monocle.
I feel like he has like
agree.
an ermine. You know, there's things like that drape over like a ermine scarf, but it still has the head attached.
You're right. He probably has like so many, like he probably got such a full outfit going on.
Yeah.
You know, like that. Like the monocle is like such a lost piece to it until like you almost don't know it's there until he like scratches and taps on it for when he's thinking. You know,
And
like there's so much going on.
he
with
definitely
him
has
that you don't see
a
it.
walking stick with a big cane with a head on it, like a big silver brass something kind of head on it. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. And no matter what you're doing at the moment, he will somehow lead you into his vast sitting room library.
Yes, yeah. It doesn't matter which room you go into, you always wind up in the library.
Yeah, it's like you'll always end up there, whether he does it by magic or not. We don't know how.
Oh, wow.
Good luck, Cody.
From the archive, a new program about the film's restoration featuring Baron Burt Bob Burns, and Paramount Pictures archivist.
All of a sudden, it's
Andrea
become a Joe
Callis.
Piscopo movie.
Yeah, Paramount
Okay.
Pictures. Yeah, Bob Burns. I like Paramount Pictures. I like Fear Films. Audio interview with producer. Audio interview with producer.
Yeah.
I hope we're the only. I hope we're not the only
Yeah.
ones who think we're hilarious. Right.
Yes, I really hope.
Audio
there are
interview
others.
with producer George Powell from 1970. The sky is.
Why couldn't he be a film historian? We would have been there forever with him.
He's a nice guy. You know.
Yeah.
So
George Powell.
so a buddy of mine at work, he has this character he does for his daughter that he made up, and he's just a nice guy from New York. That's what he's just a nice guy. You know, he's just a nice guy. You know,
I could
he'll give
see George Powell.
Yeah, he'll give you the shirt off his back. That's what George Powell does. He's just a nice guy. You know, he'll give you the shirt off his back. You know, I went up to his house. He fired up the barbecue. He flipped a few burgers. I mean, he played with the kids. He's just a nice guy. Yeah,
That's what he does.
That's what he does. He's just a nice guy. George Powell.
But Cody, you got to put that one down on the list just in case he becomes a film historian one day.
The Mercury Theater on the Air radio adaptation of The War of the Worlds from 1938, directed and narrated by Orson Welles. Oh, that's cool. That's the original radio show.
Oh, did you ever hear that?
A long time
aired
ago.
It once.
Yeah, a long time
They
ago.
aired it once. Yeah, re-aired it, and I heard it, and it was really cool to hear it.
Radio program from 1940 featuring a discussion between Wells and H.G. Wells, author of the 1897 novel The War of the Worlds. That's cool. Trailer, English subtitles, and an essay by film critic Jay Hoberman.
So, I have some bad news. I don't think he's going to ever become a film historian, considering he died 40 years ago, George Powell. So, rest in peace. I apologize.
Okay,
So,
we can scratch him off the list then.
Yeah, and actually, his real name was Georgi Pal Marjanak. So he was Hungarian American. So, but he also went as Julius Georgi Marjanak.
His parents immigrated to New York. He's a nice guy. You know, he's
But
Hungarian.
he does have two sons that hopefully are still alive, and maybe they could follow in his footsteps and become.
Wow. Okay, so that was July 7th. So let's run through this really quick. The Flesh and the Fiends, a.k.a. The Fiendish Ghouls, a.k.a. Mania. Black Rainbow from 1989. Inferno of Torture from 1969, featuring human pinatas. Neurosis, a.k.a. Revenge in the House of Usher from 1982. Zombie for Sale, Korean film, 2019. Herschel Gordon Lewis's Blood Mania, 2017. Escape Room, Quest of Fear, 2019. The Other Lamb, 2020. Both looking forward to that one. Five Must Die, 2017. Horror-a-thon, Volume 1, 2020. Beelzebub from 2017, which got our honorable mention for the week.
Yes.
And Ozone from 1995. Followed by our pick of the week, Criterion's version of War of the Worlds, 1953. That's the one we're picking for July 7th. Let's move on to July 14th.
Yes.
All right, Brian, I'll let you start things off with our first cannibal movie.
Yeah, so as we said, there's a couple of these in here. So this one's by Code Red, and this is Jungle Holocaust, a.k.a. Carnivorous. And this is another, I always butcher his name. How do you say that guy's name? The one that, oh my God, Joe Bob always says it great. Oh my God, do I need to look him up?
Oh, hang on, let me see. Hang on, I'm gonna look him up.
Because I'm gonna get him wrong, Eddie.
What is this?
I am going to
Jungle
butcher.
Jungle Holocaust.
Yeah, I'm gonna butcher. The Ruggero Diodato, right? Ruggero Diodato. Is that how to say it?
Arigato, Mr. Roboto. Ruggero. Yeah, Ruggero Diodato.
Diodato. Okay, yeah. Joe Bob flows off his tongue. He says it great.
Yeah.
I love how he says like Ruggero Diodato.
Yeah.
I love how he says it. But anyway, this is from this is one of his it's part of his trilogy there of horrible things. 1997. A plane crashes in the jungle. One of the survivors gets lost, and while trying to find a way out of the jungle, he gets captured by cannibals. He is humiliated, stripped naked, thrown in a hole with a bird for a while. Just a while, though.
Oh man, I live in a house with a bird for years, so that's
But and you're doing fine. Eventually, he escapes with the help of a cannibal girl and tries to find his plane so he can go home. What a weird plot. Okay, this one apparently this trailer doesn't show enough because it actually has a whole 40-second disclaimer about how it's not going to show you the actual cannibalism that is in this film.
Because there's actual scenes of cannibalism. Ooh.
Yeah. So this one, but they do show some typical stuff that you'd find in this movie.
Yeah.
In the trailer, boobs, chasing things, naked people. Yeah.
Guys in holes with birds.
Pretty much. Why could there be a film story in this? It's previously remastered. It says include both the uncut international version and the alternate U.S. cut, which I'm sure the international cut is probably horrific.
Yes. I don't know if there's any animal stuff in this one, but
yeah, I don't think so. I did read in some notes looking up this because I want to make sure it was by Ruggero Diodato. It says actually I think they recycled any animal things from another film I saw or something like that. So it's not new if it's in there. If it's in there, it's already been seen from something else, okay. I guess. I don't know. He did that with something else in this two movie. It seems like he threw other pieces of movie in here or something. I don't know. But it has interview with star Massimo Foschi and interview with star Ivan Rasimov. And it's got a theatrical trailer on it, which we watched and really doesn't give you much. So,
all right. So next up is one of my favorites. Release number 2 for the week is MVD Group's The Taking of Deborah Logan from 2014. A young student making a video thesis about dementia. She made a deal with an old lady who has the illness and her daughter. They are invited to their big house to film the old lady, but soon we'll film. It's not the dementia. It's not. Oh, Jesus, the synopsis.
Yeah,
But soon we'll film. It's not the dementia that's taking hold of the old lady, but something else. So this is one of the best found footages that have come out in the last few years. It's a neat premise. It exploits kind of the fear we have of growing old and aging and dementia and Alzheimer's and that kind of stuff. And it's really scary too. So I really like this one.
It is. It's kind of got a dual levels in a found footage. Usually found footages are pretty straightforward. There's usually this MacGuffin type of thing that they're seeking, and you see it basically build up to this. But this one is much different. I mean, it has that in it, but it also has, like Tim said, it has there's actually some heart. It's heartbreaking. You know, you see this woman. And I don't know if you've dealt with anyone's dealt with relatives that have. Yeah, I mean, both my grandparents I saw, one had dementia, one had Alzheimer's, and to see someone you care about like that had so much that deteriorate, and they have those moments of where they're out of it, and then they go right back, and it is truly heartbreaking. So to see that portrayed in a found footage horror film so well, this by far. I mean, I remember Kim and Ket did this one. And I had to see it because they described it so well, and it really was by far one of the best found footage movies I think around. And so if you're a found footage fan and you have not seen that, you're literally missing one of the best that there is to offer. I wish there was more on the disc though.
Yeah, not much on the disc, just a making of featurette. But this is still one I'd love to have in my collection because it's really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, there will be a position in the monolith for this movie. The next one, this one is... Oh, wait. Nope. I almost went over to the pick of the week. I'm skipping. Okay, here we go. Okay, well, this one's a doozy. It's from Media Blasters Incorporated, and this is Tokyo Gore Police. Set in a future world vision of Tokyo, where the police have been privatized and bitter self-mutilation is so casual that its advertising is often specially geared to the cutter demographic. This is the story of samurai sword-wielding Ruka and her mission to avenge her father's assassination. Ruka is a cop from a squad whose mission is to destroy homicidal mutant humans known as engineers, possessing the ability to transform any injury into a weapon in and of itself. So at least that was written well.
Yeah, this is a crazy trailer.
Wow. I mean, but I kind of wrote, I was like, it feels like this movie's like a Stefan sketch, from Saturday Night Live. It's like, it's got everything. Gore, acidic nipple shooters, flying body parts, legs replaced with gator-like mouths, Shogun warriors, etc. I mean, really, it's got... what they show in this trailer, I can't imagine what they didn't show, what else is left in the movie. But
yeah, it's crazy.
It is a wild-looking movie, though.
Yeah. I kind of want to see this one because I've been on a big anime trip lately, watching just different types of animation, especially horror animation, which I'll talk about on our next featured show. There's a show I ran across from a horror perspective that I think you guys would really like. It's on HBO Max right now. But I'll save that for the featured episode. But yeah, this one looks like a live-action horror anime.
Yeah, because we should actually, we got to note that down. We should go into a little bit of the HBO Max because I was weary on it, and then but I ended up getting it for free with my HBO subscription, and I'm kind of like regretting some of my comments that I didn't think I would like it because it's pretty solid. So we should put a little earmark to that for our next episode to kind of go over some of the great features and offers that they have on there. So.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, we have Starfish. This is from Altered Innocence, 2019. A unique, intimate, and honest portrayal of a girl grieving for the loss of her best friend. It just happens to take place on the day the world ends as we know it.
It's kind of like Melancholia, right?
This one, it's a post-apocalyptic type thing, but it looks amazing. This trailer is so well done. It looks really, really good. And a ton of extras on this disc too, Brian. We have a bonus CD with the score, which is always nice. We got 2 audio commentaries. Director A.T. White and Director of Photography Alberto Benares. Director A.T. White and We Are Geeks. I think that's a podcast maybe that stole our commentary, Brian. We Are Geeks. I mean, that's what we should call ourselves.
But we're making good connections. I know we have we're making some good friends out there in the film industry there, so they'll remember us, I hope. Alok, hope you hear me.
Making a featurette. They're giving the time lengths, but yeah, like an hour-long making a featurette, 22 minutes of deleted scenes, 2 Q&As at the Alamo Drafthouse, which is 69 minutes just in and of itself. The Tortoises featurette, music video for Ghost Light's Racehorse, a Starfish test sizzle, director introduction, animatic comparison, U.S. theatrical trailer, Blu-ray trailer, festival teaser trailer, and reversible cover art. But more importantly, the film looks really, really good.
Yeah, actually, it's reversible cover R.
Oh, cover R, yeah. More copy and paste artifacts, which are great.
Those are the best parts of this. That's what entertains Tim and I.
Yes, we like the grammatical errors.
And this one, you'll notice the horror fans will notice the lead actress right away, and she's really popular from the Blumhouse Halloween. She was Virginia Gardner. She was the friend Vicky, I believe her name was her character was. Mm-hmm. She was the friend that met her untimely demise. She was babysitting young Julian, who kind of stole a lot of scenes in that movie himself. Yeah. So but she just looks like she's kicking butt in this movie, and actually just. Case you can't wait or your budget's a little tight these days, it is on Prime right now. Starfish.
Nice. So I think I'm gonna check this one out.
Yeah, I think I actually didn't realize it, so as soon as I discovered that it was on there, I quickly put that into my queue. So I'm probably gonna watch that sooner than later because that looks really good. And I've always thought Virginia Gardner was awesome. So. Finally, before we hit our pick of the week, at least this is a shorter week. This is literally more than half of what we had for week 1.
Yeah.
This is from Jenga Films, and Jenga Films appears a couple of times on our Dismemberment this month. This is Reborn from 2018. A stillborn baby girl is abducted by a morgue attendant and brought back to life by electrokinetic power. Frankenstein.
Oh, well, that's funny. Dead babies are funny. Why am I laughing? I don't know, but
of
just
course.
I think it's the brought back to life by electrokinetic power.
Electrokinetic, power. Like it's like that's what they do now. On her 16th birthday, she escapes captivity and sets out to find her birth mother, leaving a trail of destruction behind her. This literally sounds like 15 horror genres mixed into one thing, but it has something that will appeal to every horror fan in that.
Yes.
And Tim, I'll let you announce what that is.
The fantastic, the wonderful, the amazing Barbara Crampton.
Yes, and we are only saying that because we mean it. Actually,
Yes.
no, yes, we do mean that, and we were also that is one of our dream guests. So anyone that knows Barbara Crampton, by the way,
Yeah, we're trying to get
that is one of our dream
interview.
guests to have on because we adore her. So.
Yeah, so this one actually looks pretty interesting, and with Barbara Crampton, I'll watch it automatically. So.
Oh my God, yeah, she's one of those people that make you, at least I know, like make me watch any movie she's in. So
Yeah. All right, so I was having to preview our film historians, and I don't see him on here, so we'll have to.
Oh my God, did I miss another one?
I think so. Yeah, I think.
Wait,
so.
where? Oh, in
the pick of the week, but we'll get.
No, they're there.
Oh, he's there. Okay. Another.
Yeah, if you click on it, it should appear in the comments.
Oh yeah,
if
you're
you
right.
double-click
Oh,
the,
look at there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in there, man.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I'm previewing. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, let's get to our pick of the week for July 14th.
A young couple in love, enjoying a romantic honeymoon, enjoying the pleasure of each other's company, knowing the sublime happiness of the kiss of love. But the kiss of love is a stranger here, where only evil is good, and the only kiss, the kiss of a vampire.
All right, guys, this is Shout Factory's Kiss of the Vampire Collector's Edition from 1963. Gerald and Marianne Harcourt are a honeymooning couple in early 20th century Bavaria who become caught up in a vampire cult led by Dr. Ravna and his two children, Carl and Sabina. The cult abducts Marianne and contrives to make it appear that Harcourt was traveling alone and that his wife never existed. Harcourt gets help from hard-drinking savant Professor Zimmer, who lost his daughter to the cult and who finally destroys the vampires through an arcane ritual that releases a swarm of bats from hell. So this has a new 2K restoration of the film in 2 aspect ratios, both 185 and 166, and a new audio commentary with author film historian Steve Haberman.
Yes, but so do you know what he's like? When he enters a room, he always comes in and says, Haberman does whatever a Haber can. Yet the funny thing is, though, while that seems like a silly thing, he always seems to offer incredible input, almost like as he has heightened senses. So I don't know how you feel about that one, Tim. But
Oh, I like it.
and he counteracts the wonderful Konstantin Nazer, who was grandfathered in,
Yeah.
so he escapes a mockery.
Yeah, poor Konstantin Nazer got grandfathered in, although I still want to make one for him, but I can't because he got grandfathered in, though.
I know, but maybe we can one per year re-release them out of the grandfathered.
Because I like saying Nazer because it reminds me of laser, and then that reminds me of Short Circuit, and then that reminds me of, hey, laser lips, your mama was a snowblower.
So maybe, how's this? What if we don't use him, but we recreate a robotic version of him, and we can even say that, and it makes even more sense.
And he's in a body of Johnny Five. That's got to be
Yeah.
it. Yeah, okay.
Right?
Konstantin Nazer is Johnny Five.
Yes, his consciousness has been transferred in, so therefore now he was ungrandfathered in, and now we can say that
He
every
lives, okay,
episode
there, you got that, Cody? Konstantin Nazer now lives in the body of Johnny Five.
Yes.
And when he's watching his films, he watches them at like triple speed and goes, "Need more input."
Yeah, and then when someone tries to take apart his laser, he goes, "No, disassemble number 5." So yeah, as now Cody is throwing her computer across the room.
Oh, okay. So here we go. New, The Men Who Made Hammer, composer James Bernard. New, The Men Who Made Hammer, production designer Bernard Robinson. Audio commentary with actors Edward D'Souza and Jennifer Daniels, moderated by Peter Irving. Original theatrical trailer and TV spot. TV version Kiss of Evil with optional audio commentary by film historians. Troy Howarth, a posh English gentleman.
Yes.
And
so, well, this is tricky because
Oh,
this
that's
is
right.
because he's grandfathered in, but when they're together, they become ungrandfathered.
So Troy Howarth and Nathaniel Thompson, they're a team. But yeah, so when Howarth is by himself, he's a posh English gentleman. But when he teams up with Nathaniel Thompson, they become Statler and Waldorf.
Yes, they are back. They actually they leave their human body into a puppet form, and magically transformed up into the higher echelon of the theater.
I don't even know what movie we're talking about. Oh, this is okay.
And it's our pick of the week, no less. We've just totally disrespected it.
Additional scenes added to the TV version Kiss of Evil TV trailer. So there it is, our Shout Factory Collector's Edition of Kiss of the Vampire. With that many film historians, how can you say no?
I mean, come on, that alone, just to see people transform from men to robots and then men to Muppets. I mean, come on. Yeah. That is a classic disc right there.
All right, so let's review July 14th. We had Jungle Holocaust, a.k.a. Carnivorous from 1977. The Taking of Deborah Logan, 2014. Definitely check that one out if you have not.
Yeah, you know what? That gets I say that's right. Say that gets an honorable mention, too.
Okay, honorable mention just for the strength of the movie alone. Tokyo Gore Police from 2008 looks insane. Starfish from 2019. That one's on Prime right now if you want to check that one out. Reborn from 2018, and then our pick of the week, Film Historian Packed, Shout Factory Collector's Edition, Kiss of the Vampire from 1963.
Otherwise known as Muppets and Robots.
Yes, Muppets and Robots. Johnny Five.
Oh, God. Only us, Tim, could bring that in there.
We're the only people on this earth that could take a Hammer film and turn it and connect it to Short Circuit.
Yeah, I swear. Really.
All right, so that brings us to July 21st, which is your only break this month. This is a very lean month, and I had to double check it a couple of times because I was like, really? This is all that's coming out? So there's only 2 releases.
Why, though? I wonder why. Well, you figured if anything, the first week would have been, because it's like July 4th, right after the holiday, maybe that, I don't know. But this one, for some reason, just like they forgot to release stuff.
Yeah, so, Brian, I'm going to take this one so you can have a pick of the week, because you never get a pick of the week this month yet. So, our second release this month after our pick of the week, so there's only 2 releases this month, is this Warner Brothers Horror Thrillers 4-film collection. So this is really just a one of those packaged multi-film disc from spanning 1981 and 1993. Classic horror movie creatures get stylish updates in this quartet of cinematic frights from 4 visionary directors. Wolfen adds an ecological twist to Whitley Strieber's urban blight commentary on a pack of lycanthropes defending its territory. The Hunger brings an art house aesthetic to Strieber's revisionist vampire saga. This sexy tale will leave you hungry for more. Innocent Blood defies standard sensibilities by adding a vigilante vampire to the cops and mobster genre and ups the blood count. And Body Snatchers combines teenage alienation, body horror, and government paranoia with alien invaders. Don't sleep. You won't want to after watching this. So no real extras on this, but if you want Wolfen, The Hunger, Innocent Blood, and Body Snatchers for a budget price, there's a good way to get it.
Yeah, no, I mean, and those are 4 good movies.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
It's like, I know we're kind of it's just a 4-pack, but really it actually has some good quality movies in there. I mean, that's for if you don't have any of those, I mean, why not just pick up the box? I mean, granted, it probably doesn't have many special features on it. I would assume it's probably more on the bare bones side, but overall, it's still kind of like, if you just want those movies, it's probably not that expensive, I bet. So, the next one is our pick of the week.
People around here, they forget. They forget the past. It's written in blood. I'm warning you. Something bad is coming. We see you.
Not really much to talk about on it. It's just Castle Rock, complete second season, but of course it's just a great series, so that's going to get the pick of the week. And of course, if you don't know what that is, based on the stories of Stephen King, the series will intertwine characters and themes from the fictional town of Castle Rock. And there's really only special features, which is Annie Wilkes' Mother of Sorrow featurette.
I almost feel like we covered this one in June, but I'd have to go back and look.
I thought so too.
I feel like we'd already covered it and it may have gotten delayed. So, but at either rate, it's going to be our pick of the week. And by the way, Brian, I looked up the price on that Horror Thrillers 4-film collection. $40. I'm not sure that's worth it for a for a set that has no extras.
Yeah, I mean it's $10 a movie, which is decent for a Blu-ray, but yeah, I mean without extras, I would expect that should be around like $27.
Yeah, so I don't know. Going back to that, but yeah, so yeah, our pick of the week, Castle Rock complete second season, which I've heard. I have not watched it yet. I enjoyed the first season; it was okay. I've heard the second season's much better, so I'm really looking forward to checking that out at some point.
Yeah.
So so again, for July 21st, quick recap: that horror thrillers 4-film collection with Woofin', Innocent Blood, Body Snatchers, and what was the other one? The Hunger, and then of course Castle Rock second season.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to July 28th. This is our last week for the month, and it's fairly packed as well. And this one, we're actually going to have 2 picks of the week. Brian and I differed on this one. Which is,
it's rare.
But you know what? I'm totally on board because I think both of these are equally deserving.
Yeah, and I figured I could not... I figured instead of just doing an honorable mention for it, I figured it's a big release. It got pushed back a little from its original date, but still, I still feel it needs to get mentioned.
Yeah.
So I think we have 2 good quality ones for everybody.
I think so too. So first up, before we get to those, we have Severin Films' The Revenge of the Living Dead Girls from 1987. This one's promoted as France's first gore film. And Revenge of the Living Dead Girls, La Revanche des Mortis Vivantes, is a consummate shocker of horror and sex that has grown into a legend as being one of the sickest and most perverse of zombie films. Well, that makes me want to watch this. Has a lot of naked zombie boob foo. I've never seen so many naked zombie boobs in one movie.
Yeah, this is like pure. I mean, there's more than just naked boobs, though. I mean, and this scene, but yeah, it's definitely the naked boob foo takes priority, I think. But yeah, no, this definitely very, and it's funny because their bodies are normal. It's just their heads are zombies, which just makes it like really what you see where this movie really wanted to go, which is kind of funny. I thought that was odd when I first saw it. I'm like, so all their faces look exactly the same, yet they have these really like normal bodies. So what's up with that? You know, it's like, what are they trying to pull here? Which movie were they going for?
One of my favorite Rob Zombie songs of all time, though, is "Living Dead Girl." So kind of maybe it comes from this.
I'm sure that's what it is, Tim. That's what you're drawing.
Yeah, I think so. and the zombie boobs, uncut and remastered in high definition. Revisiting The Revenge, interview with special effects artist Benoit Lastang and writer Jean-Claude Roy. The Revenge, interview with director Pierre B. Reinhard. Inside Studio Lastang, interview with special effects artist Benoit Lastang. Theatrical trailer. I'm totally butchering that French name. So.
I know Tim's French got so much lazier by the end of this dismemberment.
Yeah. I could have instead of saying Lastang, I could have said Listang.
Yeah, you could
have. That'd been the southern way to say it.
Bee sting.
Okay.
The next one's another. Boy, Stephen King's getting some rep this month here. It's a Shout Factory. It's got a Graveyard Shift disc here. And that's, of course, it's a very old textile mill with a serious rat infestation. The workers discover a horrifying secret deep in the basement. So this one's got some good features on it. I mean, it's funny. It's small for a Shout Factory release in terms of features, but it's got a decent... I mean, there may just not have been a lot available to put on the disc, but it's got new filmmaking in King Country, Working the Night Shift, 2 interviews with producer-director Ralph S. Singleton, new Back Off Man, an interview with actress Kelly Wolfe, new We're Going to Hell Together, an interview with actor Stephen Macht, new Let's Go Surfing Now, an interview with actor Vic Polizos, and new Yes, Mr. Warwick, an interview with actor Robert Allen Booth. Or Bwith. I don't know how to do it. A theatrical trailer and radio spot. This seems like they literally just took probably like one interview and pieced it into 4 different...
probably, to make more extras.
4 different features just to make it look longer. But, I mean, you know what? Like I said, they may have only had limited resources to do this, so...
Yeah.
Got what you got.
And, you know, Graveyard Shift, I mean, it's an okay movie. It's definitely not great. But the book is outstanding. That was early Stephen King short story collections. I just absolutely love. And Graveyard Shift was obviously very good. Has some great stories in it. So.
Yeah, I know the movie's kind of like that Midland level of King representation. But...
Yeah. All right, so next up we have one of my favorites of recent days, The Outsider, complete first season from 2020. This was the HBO series based on the Stephen King novel, The Outsider.
Still need to watch this.
Oh man, fantastic adaptation of the book, which was already pretty good. But I thought they just did an amazing job with the series. Has the fantastic, incredible Ben Mendelsohn, who I'll watch in anything.
Oh yeah, he's another one. Yeah, you got to watch in anything he's in.
This one's about investigators who are confounded over an unspeakable crime that's been committed. The story in this one's fascinating. It's a really good premise, and I would have to say one of my favorites was her name is Cynthia. It's Erivo or Cynthia Erivo, but she plays Holly Gibney in this one. She's an African American actress. Holly Gibney in Mr. Mercedes is a character that's recurring because she was in Stephen King's Bill Hodges trilogy, and I don't believe she was played by an African American actress in the Mr. Mercedes Mr. Mercedes series. So Cynthia Erivo took over the role in The Outsider, and she is incredible. I mean, mind-blowingly good. I read the books,
I gotta see this. And
she just does such a fantastic job of portraying that character from page to screen. I just absolutely loved her. This has some great features: El Cuco, the Baba Yaga, The Outsider, all new featurette. Invitation to the Set, Stephen King in The Outsider, Jason Bateman in The Outsider, adapting The Outsider, analyzing Holly Gibney, and The Outsider inside episodes 1 through 10. I think that's like a after show type thing for all the 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Fantastic series. I love the book. I love the series. I love the performances. Some fantastic actors in this. Highly recommended for me.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check this one out. I think it's on HBO Max now, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
okay.
and it's complete, so it's all obviously. It's been
nice. I can binge.
You can binge.
Okay, the next one is another Code Red one, and this one is Slave of the Cannibal God. And this is, I almost said Cannonball. It's Cannibal God. I'm telling you, it's getting late. 1978. I'm also a couple beers in. Just had a good new 6-point, by the way. I got to tell you about this one later. This one's good. It says, a girl and her brother fly to New Guinea to look for a lost expedition led by her husband, which has vanished in the great jungle. This one kind of looks like Romancing the Stone meets Cannibal Holocaust.
Brian, you will not believe this. I actually almost wrote that for my description.
Did you really?
I swear to God, I almost wrote that.
This whole that is how on point we've become, Tim.
Scary.
That shows how this podcast has
we mind melded.
It is. It really is. But if you watch this trailer, that's literally what it is. It starts off as almost like this zany comedic adventure through the jungle.
Yes, a jungle
with a hint of possible fear, and then it just goes nuts where next thing you know you got a naked Ursula Andress tied up and being rubbed with some kind of ointment, and and these cannibals are getting her prepared for something. I tell you, this thing is, I'd never even heard of this movie, but it's got Stacy Keach in it, it's got Ursula Andress, it's got big people in it, so yeah, I don't know, and I mean the disc doesn't have much on it, but it does have the uncut international version, which is probably what I saw in the trailer, because it did not look like something I could see released at mainstream in U.S. at the time, and then alternate U.S. cut, which is probably highly edited, I'm sure, and it's got trailers on it. So, but yeah, watch this trailer if you get a chance. This thing is wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This trailer.
All right, so next up we have Brian's guess for the month. Artsploitation Films 2019's release of Dead Dicks. So Brian, what is Dead Dicks about?
All right, I am going to go. I'm gonna go I'm not falling for what this title is saying. These are two detectives that are come back from the dead to solve something.
Oh, no, I like your. It's completely wrong, but I like.
I really thought I had that one.
I like your thinking of there. That was a great guess. No, but this one does have an interesting premise. I'm kind of fascinated by this. After Becca receives a distressing call from her suicidal brother Richie, she rushes over to his apartment and finds him alive and well, surrounded by copies of his own dead body.
Whoa.
Ooh, isn't that intriguing?
That's kind of got a cool... So is his name Dick, I take it?
Yeah, so it's a kind of a clone.
It was so literal,
Actually,
I missed it.
His name is Richie, but I guess they call him
okay.
But
I see, that's why it was so literal. Like, I know people by the title, people are going to be like, oh, okay.
yeah.
They think it's about a genital. But then I'm like, well, no, dick is also what they say about a detective.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe that's what it is. I didn't even think to go the most obvious choice, like the guy's name.
Well, the genital would probably be more fitting with our month's lineup of discs between the human pinatas and everything else.
I should have gone there, but I didn't. Yeah.
This one does have some decent extras. Though. It's got a director's commentary with directors Chris Bavoda and Lee Paula Springer, 4 video diaries with directors Chris Bavoda and Lee Paula Springer, behind the scenes featurette, FX featurette, and a photo gallery.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So the next one, the final one before we get over to our pick of the week, and for some reason, I did not get to see this trailer, sadly. I think I missed it when I was going through, but it's again by Jenga Films, and it's Nazi Undead. And it's college sweethearts Brad and Ashley venture into the heartland of Germany. Their romantic holiday takes a sinister turn when encountering a German SS officer, thrusting them into a psychological vortex, revealing there is not always life in a living space. What?
Yeah.
Is this like a time travel movie? What is going on?
I did watch the trailer, and I don't know. It looks okay, I guess. I don't know. Any Nazi zombies is always a good thing.
Yeah, usually, but no, I don't know where the Brad and Ashley's got to come in on this. But yeah.
So let's get to our picks of the week, Brian.
And we each get to say one.
We each get to say one. So I'll go with mine since I'm next up in the rotation. And this is one I actually just recently talked about when we were talking about 1BR, and it's a film that I had watched for the first time this year and had talked about on a previous episode.
There's something odd going on in my building.
Do you remember the conditions on which I let you have this apartment?
Certainly do, Monsieur C. I know what you're referring to.
I'm referring to what I said about women.
Oh, yes, of course.
And why do you bring them around here?
That is my pick of the week, Shout Factory's The Tenant from 1976. This is a Roman Polanski film. A quiet and inconspicuous man rents an apartment in France where the previous tenant committed suicide and begins to suspect his landlord and neighbors are trying to subtly change him into the last tenant so that he too will kill himself.
Right.
This one has some great extras. New Apartment to Let, an interview with co-writer, director, and star Roman Polanski. New The Invisible Performer, an interview with assistant cameraman Francois Cotonnet in French with English subtitles. I don't know. Why are they challenging me with French tonight?
I know. What is with the it's like they always got to give you like a foreign language to master each week.
Yeah, it's like a different language each week on how to master. New Keeping Continuity, an interview with script supervisor Sylvette Baudreau. New A Visit to the Locations of the Tenant. New audio commentary with film historians, our Statler and Waldorf beloved duo Troy Howarth and Nathaniel Thompson. New The Tenant, an audio essay by Sam Degas.
Oh, look, he's back.
Shh. Quiet. He's the mime. He can't say.
That's right.
Yeah.
So how does he? That's interesting that
essay?
He chose an audio essay.
It's 30 minutes of blank.
It's just him pretending to write and scribble.
It's just scribble, audio interview with writer Roland Topar by journalist Frederick Levy in 1980. Audio interview with screenwriter Gerard Brock by journalist Frederick Levy in 1986. So this is one that I'm going to pick up because I really, really like this movie. This is one of those kind of, one of those undiscovered movies you don't really hear about and you just kind of run across and you like absolutely love it. And, I know there's a lot of controversy over Roman Polanski, blah, blah, blah. I'm the type that I generally can separate the art from the artist in these kind of situations. I don't condone, obviously, anything Roman Polanski's done in the past, but I did really, really enjoy this movie.
Right. Yeah, and because it's hard for especially some people who like end up discovering these movies and then find out about things like you may not know. So it's like, well, what are you supposed to do there? It's like, yes, you sometimes you have to separate the art from the artist. But I tell you too, looking at this thing, I think this has to be by far the record of those accents over the letters in the history of our dismemberment. As a full dismemberment, there is a lot of accents over
there is. Wow.
In this. So the final disc we'll talk about is my pick of the week for this week, and this is one I've been waiting for, and it got delayed. It was originally, I think, supposed to come out a couple weeks ago, and now it's pushed back. I probably due to just with COVID stuff, some things get pushed back. It's fine as long as it comes out, and this is 13 Ghosts.
There are ghosts around us all the time. Most of them, they can't hurt us. Most of them don't even want to hurt us. But there are exceptions.
Is it bad tonight?
Oh, bad? It is my professional opinion. We should get the hell out of here. Now.
Collector's edition. That was of course everyone's seen that one because a lot of people remember Shannon Elizabeth. It was a pretty big horror film for her. So in case you didn't know the plot, it's a family inherits a spectacular old house from an eccentric uncle. There's just one problem. The house seems to have a dangerous agenda all its own. Trapped in their new home by strangely shifting walls, the family encounters powerful and vengeful entities that threaten to annihilate anyone in their path. Soon the family is joined by an offbeat ghost hunter who is determined to free the spirits imprisoned in the house. Caught in a frantic race to save themselves before it's too late, the human inhabitants realize the house is a riddle which contains the key to their imminent salvation or destruction. And this one's always a fun watch. Yeah. So this is a disc that I'm definitely going to pick up.
Well, Brian, do you remember when this came out? I feel like I remember this one critically got savaged. Like, I just remember this movie, like, everybody just, like, hating on it so bad. And then I feel like over the years, like, it's almost become a little bit of a cult classic. Like, people have kind of grown to love it. And maybe because of, the cast, in a way, I think there's some nostalgia for them, which may have helped a lot. But I really need to revisit this one because I don't think I've seen it in years. I mean, probably since... God, it's probably been maybe a couple of years after release is the last time I saw this.
Yeah, this one I remember I bought this before I had ever seen it. I bought it on disc. It was back when in the days of when they were remember those weird snap cases of DVDs. Oh, yeah. I remember I think that it came in one of those cases, and that was when I was literally buying. I mean, you think I bought now? I mean, back then I was like anything on DVD pretty much that I even heard of or remotely heard of was like being purchased. And so that is one I bought, and I always liked it, and I think it got a lot of following once it hit DVD. Yeah, because I think the original disc was pretty good with stuff. So, but anyway, this disc is packed. So this one has new audio commentary with director Steve Beck, new Haunted in Canada, an interview with actress Shannon Elizabeth, who we met and I talked to.
Yeah, I was afraid to talk to her.
No, I'm just kidding. Tim said a word or two. Yeah. New The Voice of Reason, an interview with actor Matthew Harrison. New Sophomore Spook Show, an interview with producer Gilbert Adler. New The Juggernaut Speaks, an interview with actor John DeSantis. New The Hammer Speaks, an interview with actor Herbert Duncanson. 13 Ghosts Revealed. Ghost Files, a haunted house full of poltergeist profiles. So I wonder if that's like all the different ghosts in the movie.
Oh,
thing on it. Sounds pretty cool. Original electronic press kit featuring interviews with cast and crew behind the scenes footage. And I want to say that might have been on the original disc, something like that. Because remember when DVDs first came out, a lot of them would have these really cool special features that most people never saw before because, not a lot of people jumped to Laserdisc where they had all these special features on. Most people had it on things on VHS, and VHS had sometimes they would have like bonus stuff at the end of the movies, but
very rarely
did they have stuff. Yeah, and every so often you could actually get a 2-tape set, one tape that had the movie and the other tape that had the commentary on it. But most of the time, it wasn't until people got DVDs where a lot of people got introduced to the wonders of the special feature. And I remember this disc I think it had some good stuff on it back then. I have to double check that because I have it, so I just need to look. And then final thing is an audio commentary with director Steve Beck, production designers Sean Hargraves, and special effects makeup artist Howard Berger. That's like a nice little mix there. You got the director, a production designer, and the makeup guy like doing a horror movie. I mean, for commentary, that's a good mix of people in there. And the final thing was theatrical trailer and TV spots. So we got 2 good pick of the weeks, I think.
Yeah,
they both deserve the title.
Absolutely,
so.
I would not hesitate to buy either one of these discs. I think they're both great in their own way. So yeah. So let's recap. July 28th, we had Revenge of the Living Dead Girls 1987, Graveyard Shift from 1990, The Outsider complete first season from 2020, highly recommended, and also on HBO Max. Slave of the Cannibal God from 1978. Dead Dicks from 2019. Nazi Undead from 2018. And our picks of the week. Brian went with 13 Ghost Collector's Edition from Shout Factory. That 2001 movie, fantastic Collector's Edition with a lot of great extras. And I went with Roman Polanski's The Tenant from 1976. Fantastic movie with a lot of great new extras. So I think those were both solid picks. So that is it for July. A lot of discs. Again, I think we kind of uncovered the diamonds in the rough there, Brian. There was a lot of rough in this month, but there was also some big gems.
Yeah, definitely a lot of rough.
Yeah, and a lot of film historians. So
that is climbing. We got a good little assortment there added to the collection.
Absolutely. So I hope you guys enjoy this. We will of course be back here next month for our August releases. And as usual, stay tuned for our featured episodes every week. And keep sending us in those listener questions for our featured episodes. Anything you want to hear from me and Brian in terms of discussion points, talking points, personal questions, whatever you want to ask, we will answer them on the air.
Even if it's where on earth in the far reaches of your deranged brains do you get these film historian characteristics? we might not be able to answer that one, but we'll sure try.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you back here soon.
You enjoy.